Hey everybody, this is Nikki and I am here with another video that is my personal experience and not to be used as medical advice. This is kind of a general theme, I guess, of trying to show people the ways in which we might not be getting insulin on the 670G. As soon as I say that, I'm like, it's not a red alert kind of thing or a red flag kind of thing. It's an awareness. And it is partly why the 670G is nice, because it's how it helps us avoid hypoglycemia. But it does also set us up for very frustrating highs that maybe there might be a way to handle it just by knowing and working with it. I don't know. Anyway, I did two videos today that I already can't remember. So those were not worthy of a memory. So that's great. Okay, anyway, they were along the lines of this. Oh, Carelink reports. I was trying to show Carelink reports. I'm tired. I should not be doing this now, but I have an opportunity. They were Carelink reports where I was trying to show a minimum delivery and a blood sugar spike. And again, I was just trying to show the fact that I saw this all the time in auto mode. But I do want to show that I saw it and I see it in, because now I'm back in manual mode 100%. I do see it in manual mode all the time too. And when you couple it with an SG delay, which is a regular part of this, if you have blood sugars that swing, what it sets you up is kind of overextensions of suspends in manual mode. So I have to 4 times a day override my manual mode suspend because I know I've had enough of a suspend. And I know that if I let it go, it might keep me there for an hour or whatever, and it will also cause a blood sugar rise. Anyway, so here's my Carelink report. This is one piece. This is, none of this matters. This was back July of last year. This was before I started auto mode. The only reason I'm showing this is because I think that this is really good information for people who are starting on the 670 or even people who have been on it and just are still at a loss for what's happened to their blood sugars. This is not for the people who are doing really well. You got it. Lucky you. It's great. No hard feelings. Okay. So this is what I'll show you a couple things just about your Carelink report. This line right here, this straight pink line indicates manual mode. Just for a comparison, you can see right here with these, this would be that you're in auto mode, and here I go back into manual mode. Anyway, so that is an indicator that I'm in manual mode. And this right here, these shaded brown areas, this right here is a suspend. And you can see that it's a suspend because it's between 2 triangles. There are other times where it's between squares, I believe, that it does not, it's not a suspend, it's a disconnect in the sensor lost its signal. Anyway, so here we have a manual mode line, a disconnect, and the reason there's different heights is because of the different basal rates. These purple lines are boluses, and this of course is my blood sugar line, my SG line. Okay, so what I have, this is what I wanted to show, and this is what I saw regularly in manual mode, and I still see regularly in manual mode, is what would happen right here. So at noon, basically I had a climb, who knows why, and then I did a big bolus. Oh, I'm having a climb right now. It's time for me to go do my exercise. I had a big bolus, which brought it down. That's all fantastic. This pump, when it sees that you're trending downward, will put you in a suspend. It's not quite that simple. It's got lots of rules for why and how, but that's it in a nutshell. And once you're in that suspend, you're not getting insulin. So the reason I'm pointing this out is because I don't think people are aware, at least for a while, just how often they're not getting insulin on their pump, and then they're trying to understand their blood sugar rise. Well, you can see here, this is probably about a 2-hour, is my guess, maybe a 2-hour suspend, which was 2 hours without insulin. And then you can see what happened afterwards. I hit a 300. 264. Now, I did eat food, and the only reason I even mention that, the food is not what caused those rises. I could see pages and pages and pages of these where I didn't eat any food. The only reason I mention it is because people often see that rise after the food and they blame the food, or they blame the fact that they've miscalculated something. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm not saying they didn't eat ho-hos. I mean, there's lots of stuff that could be behind it. but 2 hours without insulin is a perfectly reasonable suspect as well. So, so that's it. And you can see right here, here's another suspend. You can see I'm starting to climb. That is it. That is a manual mode suspend, what it looks like on a Carelink report. And part of my trying to raise awareness of the amount of time that we spend without getting good insulin, not good full insulin, and its effect on our blood sugars. And of course, ultimately where I'm headed with this is all of these setting changes that people are making. Can they work? Can blanket changes work to cover pockets, unpredictable pockets of reduced insulin? And my answer to myself, because this is what I do in my world, is I think for people who are stable, I think maybe because they're kind of doing chunks, but people who are going like this all the time, I think it's going to put them in for a rough ride. I didn't want to end with an opinion, but apparently I can't stop myself. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.